Hackers on the dark web have found a new device to target. According to ZDNet, hackers are increasingly discussing how to compromise internet-connected gas pumps.
Researchers say this could indicate a new trend for cybercriminals looking to exploit the popularity of internet-based technology.
For more on this now, we want to bring in Danny Palmer from London. He's a senior reporter for ZDNet. So gas pumps, when I first heard this, I just thought, is there nothing left now? But yeah, you know, you sit at the gas pump, and often they have screens, they take your information. So how exactly are these hackers compromising internet-connected gas pumps, and where are these attacks happening?
Well, the way they're being compromised is because they're internet-facing. It seems that as more and more organizations are connecting their devices to the internet, they may not be taking security as seriously as they maybe could. So they put out these devices, and they're usually connected to the internet for a decent reason, like monitoring what's going on. But they're leaving holes in the sort of back-end infrastructure, which hackers are trying to take advantage of. And as this report pointed out, there's discussion on some dark web forums, predominantly Russian language and Portuguese language forums, about breaking into them.
So why is this device in particular catching the attention of hackers? I mean, in the past, I've seen, I think, like in popular entertainment and film, hackers hacking into, for example, those smart refrigerators, right? But like, why specifically gas pumps?
Well, there's a few different reasons for this. One of them is because they're there and they're connected to the internet and they're insecure. That's just a goldmine for hackers. If they can break into it, they will. One of the reasons they can be a bonus for attackers as well is because these devices are connected to the internet, then often forgotten about. While your computer or your mobile phone, you're looking at this all the time. You know it's there. You're thinking about the security of it. If you install a cyber-enabled device, be it a gas pump or a household appliance, you might not think of it as internet connected, so you're not going to think, oh, this needs updating, or attackers can use this for a nefarious means. A common way internet-connected devices are taken advantage of is just by attackers roping them into a botnet, which is basically a network of devices they control. One of the most common things they will do with that is take those internet devices and the traffic they create and direct that towards a target in a distributed denial of service attack or a DDoS attack. Quite often, this is used to take down online services. The biggest example of that being the Mirai botnet, which happened in November 2016, where a lot of services, particularly across the United States, were taken down and were offline and could not be accessed by users. I mean, these cyber-enabled devices, with their lack of protection, are an easy way for attackers to do that sort of thing.
So this isn't about like stealing our credit card information or anything along those lines. It's more about getting into the system to get into another system. Did I understand you correctly with that?
Well, it could be about getting to private information, because in many cases these devices are on the same network as all your other stuff. For example, if you take a large organization which has servers, computers, all these sorts of things which store private information and data, be it personal information, maybe banking information, I mean, that stuff should be sort of locked away safely, and you'd like to think that there are protections against that. But if that organization has an internet-connected appliance, say, for example, as you mentioned, an internet-connected fridge, if that is facing the internet and isn't secured, an attacker could use that as a gateway to get through to the rest of the network, which they could do all sorts of things like stealing information or spying, monitoring the network, things like that. There's a lot of possibilities.
Right.
So you mentioned in your piece that these attacks could be used for more destructive purposes. Give us an inkling of what level of destruction we're talking about here.
Well, things like gas pumps and other industrial appliances are, they control things in the physical world. They control things that people use. I mean, there's been a few cases of power plants being taken down by cyber attacks. I mean, if you can breach an internet-connected device like this and it provides you with an entryway to the control system of a power plant, I mean, that's a real-world consequence. And there have been incidents in the Ukraine especially where whole sections of the country have been put into the dark in the middle of December due to a cyber attack. It's quite worrying how the cyber world and the physical world are becoming so interlinked in this way, and can have such consequences which impact on the day-to-day lives of people.
So then what needs to be done to protect our gas pumps? I mean, when I think about the gas, I was like, what else is there? So what can we do?
Well, for organizations which build these devices, the most important thing is to make sure they're secure when you build and ship them. The problem is with many Internet of Things devices or Internet-connected devices is quite often organizations think, hey, we can connect this to the Internet, let's do it, and just put it out there. But an organization, for example, which makes, let's say, toothbrushes, and they suddenly want to put an internet-connected chip in their toothbrush, they probably don't have a cybersecurity team. So they release this thing, and it goes out with not many defenses, if at all. So, a good thing to do would be, make sure you buy your products, if you're getting internet-connected products, from an organization you know and trust. I mean, if you can get if there's a really cheap appliance from a company you've never heard of, you might want to question whether that's a good idea buying that in the first place.
Good advice. Dan Palmer, thank you very much.
Thank you.